serious question. Did you ever shag Rebel Wilson?
That's it, I'm done. I'm done.
Come on, seriously, it was... Well, what an absolute pleasure it is to have the one and only Tahir on Comedy Legends with Bevo for the very first time.
Yes! Let's get the studio audience to clap.
Yeah.
So, Bevo, tell me how long you've been doing these podcasts. Hang on, sorry, you asked me the
I'm
question.
asking you the questions, mate. So, now you've got a couple of shows at the Adelaide Fringe this year. Tahir, they're going great guns. Tell us all about them.
Yeah, I'm doing an adult show called Human Scamming in Gluttony. And it's 7 p.m. every night, and it's been a lot of fun. If you've been to my shows before, you know there's a lot of impro, loose. I discussed, like in this one, I'm discussing human psychology to the point of like, well, I'll probably, this would be a cue for your show, for the podcast. If you're late to my show, expect to come on stage and be interviewed, just like this, exactly like this. So I pretend the latecomer is a guest on my Tonight Show, and the Tonight Show music plays, the audience is all in on it. And it's very funny. Like that
would be hilarious.
Yeah, they go along with it. So if you're watching this and you come and you don't come late, unless you want to appear on stage.
How have people found that? Because that would be pretty confronting.
People react weird. Like, are you serious? I go, yeah, I'm deadly serious. The music's playing. Everyone, the audience is clapping. They become a studio audience, and some of them go along with it. It's really nice. You know, others like really freak out. They go, I just walked into the tent. What am I doing on stage? You know what I mean? You just walk into the tent. Next thing they're on stage, I'm asking questions. They go, I pretend like they're like, you know, they come on every week, and yeah, it works really, really well. I do a bit of shit magic in it as well. But, you know, who doesn't love a bit of shit magic? And I discuss my stuff on social media. Like, so, you know, I get like a lot of positive comments, but I discuss the negative ones, which I like. Like, I don't like, but I'm intrigued by. So Tahir comedian, right? Tahir.
Yeah.
And for example, someone sent me a message on social media, said, and they started the conversation, and it was like, I didn't ever like anything you did, right? First comment, like it was like 5 a.m., which tells you weird, like why is he sending me a message?
Yeah.
So I thought, I always get intrigued by this sort of comments and people, because I would generally want to know, right? I go, okay, no problem. This is my reply. And bear in mind that he started the conversation. I say, okay, no problem, but not even one thing, right? Fair enough.
Yeah.
His reply back, why are you pestering me again? I said, hang on, didn't you ask the first question? Didn't you send the first message? Then I got blocked by him. He blocked me. So you get a lot of funny comments. I get comments like, oh, well, how come he can say the word wog, but we can't? Get over it, say it. Who gives a shit, right? Like just
exactly.
Yeah, you get really weird. I reply back. I don't care. I just reply back. But
you love the keyboard warriors, then?
Yeah, I don't love them, but I genuinely like to know, what their position is, or something. I don't know.
That's
maybe
brilliant.
they've got a sad. I've got no idea, but no, I don't like the keyboard warriors. But I like to always find out what their angle is. You know.
That's a great attitude, though.
Yeah,
because,
It doesn't worry me, honestly, Bev. It does.
No.
Some people, comedians get cut. Oh my God, someone said I wasn't funny. Who gives a shit?
Exactly. You can't please everyone, can you?
There's always going to be haters. It doesn't matter. You know, like probably from even this show. I know there's thousands of people that love this show. There'd probably be someone going, "Oh, no, Bevo's show." No, you can't take it to heart, right?
No, that's right. It's not for everyone.
I mean, I reckon this show was just Look at the cartoon and everything. Look at that.
It is when I've been to Mosh, though, and I've got a bit more hair. So
I love it. It's beautiful. It is like a Tonight Show.
It is a bit, isn't it? So, and the magician one as well, which is great because it's family friendly. It's all for kids and adults.
It is family. So it's called the World's Best Worst Magician. It's the second year I did last year. It was fantastic. It sold out, and I'm thinking, oh my God, these tickets are selling. They're on par with my adult show. Like if they start outselling my adult show, it's time for me to stop, right? But a lot of fun, and I realised that there were people from like Fat Pizza fans and different people coming through with kids. They can't come to my adult show because it's nighttime, no babysitter, what have you. So they turn up to this show with oh my God, fully sick T-shirts and different. I said, oh my God. So I get it. So they want to turn up and they just bring their kids along, and the shows are been going well because I've been making all different ages laugh. So. A lot of kids' magic shows are done for the kids, which the kids are certainly entertained in my show, but I'm always giving a couple of bones to the adults. So they're having such a good time as well. They're not just sitting back because I've seen some other kids' shows where the adults just sit back and kids just scream and nothing else happens. But it's been busy. I've also been doing the Greatest Magic show as the ringmaster in Sam and Justin's show, who come to the Fringe every year, and I've been loving it. I'm the ringmaster.
That's brilliant.
I've got the hat on, the whole costume. So, but it also keeps me busy because I'm here. What am I doing during the day? I mean, how many times can I walk up and down Hindley Street or
Exactly.
run the road? Like, I mean, go up there, see the pigs, see the big ball. Yes, I've seen it before, so I like to keep busy.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
Yeah.
And in terms of your shows, that was actually one of my next questions. In terms of preparation, research, you mentioned you do have a fair bit of spare time during the day. Is there a lot of time spent preparing for these shows, or are you sort of at the stage now when you've been doing it for so long where you just completely nail it and just go with the flow?
Well, to answer that question, I'll tell you what I was doing today. Most of my today, and yesterday as well, when I came in and quickly packed, was spent on my Supercoach team. Hours and hours. And the tipping, because the AFL season is about to start.
Yeah.
NRL season started last week. So that's basically what I do during the day. See who I can fit in my salary cap, who am I going to tip, spend hours, and that's my preparation.
That's amazing.
I mean, I have done this show, a number of times, early in the Fringe. So I did 10 days, took 2 weeks off, and then come back for the last 7 days. So, but yeah, the preparation is done before that. But when the magic show's on, there's a lot of lifting, preparation. Now I thought, that's why I love stand-up comedy. That's my passion. Always will be. Not acting, just stand-up comedy is always my number one passion. Because you can just get up and talk about anything. Now, I just said that. I go, just listen to what I just said. What other job can you do that? No one puts any censorship. You can talk about any topic you want. You can make it about any theme you want. And it's you. You've got to take the risk, and do it. Whereas magic, I'm preparing. I got to get there in hours beforehand, set it all up, pack it all up. There's a lot of effort, but I don't mind because I love the kids' shows. But stand-up comedy, it always reminds me why I love it so much. And I'm loving it more and more. I've been doing it for, it's well over 2 decades now. But I'm enjoying it more and more.
That's great.
It's just, I don't take it for granted. I go, look, we're in a room. There's a couple of hundred people there, just seated, just waiting for someone to talk into a microphone. When you break it down like that, it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's an amazing profession.
You're the center of attention.
It's amazing profession. Yeah, and you got them for an hour and do whatever you want. I go, oh my God.
That's so cool.
Have you ever thought about what we're actually doing? People are actually doing hard work out there, like Rory.
Yeah, that's right.
He's doing hard work.
Yeah, exactly.
And you, Beba, you're doing hard, I never take it for granted, and I've ended up in really weird positions and shows, and I've done it all. Nothing surprised me anymore. It doesn't worry me. Early on, if you did a bad show or something, or the audience didn't like, you think, you get down a bit. But these days, it's move on.
Just go with the flow.
No dramas. Yeah. I give anything a go. I like exploring cities and towns I go to. With the comedy, I love it. I'm not one of those comedians just lock themselves up in a room.
Yeah.
And they go out, which a lot of them do. But yeah, the only time is Supercoach. That's the only time. Do you play Supercoach?
I don't. It's too frustrating for me.
Come on, Bev. How do you not play Supercoach? You'd be the best at it.
Too busy preparing for my interviews with legends like you guys,
Yeah,
mate.
fair enough. But you do the tipping, right?
No, I don't do that either. I just get too frustrated. I just rather watch the footy. The only thing I do is, and gamble responsibly, everyone. I do multis. I've been doing that with my friends the last few years. We choose a game each and. But not even tipping? Nah.
Not even tipping?
No, it gets me too frustrated. So
now, correct me if I'm wrong, though. The podcast, which we're just doing now, Legends with Bevo.
Started out as footy tipping.
That's what I'm saying. It started out as tipping.
Yeah, I know.
You don't, as a respect how it all started off, you don't continue to tipping.
No, it just frustrates me.
It should be like tipping with Bevo.
I'm useless at it.
Fair enough.
Too hard to tip these days. The games are too even. And,
I know, you moved beyond, the podcast moved beyond that, so it's good.
Exactly. I've actually seen your shows before back in the day, and you do rely on the audience a lot. Question I've got, though, for you is, what if you don't have much interaction from the audience? Do you have a sort of a contingency plan? And that's what I was asking you before about when you're prepared and researched.
Yep.
Because there might be times where it's a bit of a boring audience. And, I've done emceeing at weddings before and thought what I was saying was really funny and had a few people laugh, but, got tumbleweeds and the rest of them, So how do you prepare for those?
Well, I do have a show, Bevo. So, there's lots of material there. And obviously, if you've been doing long enough, things trigger, it's like a filing cabinet. That's the best way to describe it, Lino.
Yeah. So
the filing cabinet material, and someone will say something, I triggered that remember that gag from 10 years ago or 15 years ago, throw it in there, whatever. look, usually, and I don't pick on the audience. I just like to include them in my show.
Yeah.
Like, and I genuinely want to know who they are and what they do and like, you know, and what their story is. Like, I actually love it. And one of my rules is like, I don't talk to people like I know. People think it's all planned. I go, no. Like, if you came to my show, like after, you know, this podcast, you could come to my show. You could sit right in the front row. I would not talk to you. Like, I would not talk to you. Because I've met you, I know you. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I'm not going to say, hey, g'day, what's your name? What do you do? Well, it'd be too weird.
Yes.
So I genuinely want to meet people like, say, you'd be safe if you could turn up.
Thank you.
You would not, you could sit in the front row.
I got stitched up the other night by Joe White. So
did you?
Yeah.
Well, no, I wouldn't it'd be too weird for me. But I like improvising. People laugh at stuff that you make up on the spot differently. So you can have a great gag or two or great, you know, stand-up perspective. But when you make up stuff on the spot, the audience really, they get it. They go, hang on, he's just making this up right now. So it's just for them. And when we do something with the audience and we improvise, they know that, hey, that's happening tonight. It's happening live. It's not going to happen again tomorrow.
Yeah.
So they go, look, we're getting something here on the spot.
Something different each show. I like it.
Yeah, it's not just someone just standing and talking about their remembered material. Like, it's different, and people appreciate that. And that's what I love. I love improv. Yeah. Love going with the flow. And most of the audiences go along with it. And I'm pretty good at picking people. Like, you know, if you're there, I can see that people that are generally fearful and don't want to talk, like, I can see that. And I won't force that, you know?
Yeah.
So no, let them sit down, enjoy themselves. And yet others, they love to chit chat.
You're nice because other comedians wouldn't be the same. So.
No, well, because they want to come there, let them sit down and just relax. You can tell people that just generally, people are fearful of talking, like, and they don't want to be up there, or no problem at all. But there's others who really want to, you know, get involved. That's fine as well. So, but yeah, I enjoy doing a mixed bag of my show. So Human Scare Me, for example, is, you know, stand-up comedy, impro, like the latecomers, shit magic. You know, I get on my social media messages. It's mixed. Like, you know, I'm throwing different things at the audience. I can do 60 minutes of straight stand-up. I've done it plenty of times, you know. Yeah. But I want to watch it. You know, I give the type of show I want to watch. You know, if I'm sitting there for 60 minutes, I want some different things thrown at me. Personally, like, you know, that's just my view. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. Yeah. But so I just give the sort of show I'd like to watch.
It's great. And speaking of entertaining and also loose, we've spoken off air about this a bit as well. You're the famous Habib from back in the day with Fat Pizza, Here Come the Habibs, and also Howzos. Yep. What was it like playing that character? And obviously it must have been a lot of fun.
What was it? So, like, if I walk around, people expect me to say, oh my God, I swear to God, like, oh my God. Like, yeah, you got to throw a couple of those in. I get a lot of, well, I don't know how else to say it, Bevo, but overweight chicks coming up to me because of my, you know, I married Tula on the show.
Rebel Wilson, of course.
Yeah, Rebel Wilson.
Yeah.
So people actually think that's my style, which is nothing wrong with it. So I get a lot of, people coming up to me, which is fine. I get a lot of people come show me their cars, which is weird because there's always been cars on the shows we've done over the years, the movies. And so people think, I don't mind cars, don't get me wrong, but it's not one of my passions. You know, I love theatres and musicals and different stuff, but they show me their cars wherever I go in Australia. Oh my God, it's Habib. Like, come here, look at my car, look at it, look at the mags, look at what I spent on it. Like, you know, I bought it for $3,000, spent $50,000 on the car. Look at it. Like, okay, good for you. Like, dickhead. And I got to sit there and sometimes I go to the car festivals because we're doing appearances and we've done plenty of, you know, appearances at car festivals, and it's a nightmare for me. I just go along with it, but it really is a nightmare, 3 days of car talk and this sort of stuff. But yeah, look, it's a lot of fun. And the other thing is, you know, I have talked about this before, is that because I was this dodgy drug dealer, and when we did the tours, like around the country, people used to just give me drugs.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, like just for genuine. Like, I mean, I said it. I don't know. It's another scoop for your podcast, right? And we do the big theatre shows, like, you know, the massive shows right around the country, and we do the meet and greets, and people would just sneak stuff into my hand. You go, Habib, shake my hand. I go, oh, there it is. There. I don't know what some sort of packet or something. And no, I don't do drugs. I don't smoke, like whatever. And initially, I used to say, no, man, it's okay. Like, no, not for, like, thanks you, but no, thank you. But they wouldn't take no for an answer, Bevo, right? They insist. They go, no, but you're Habib. take the drugs, take it. Like, and I don't know what the shit they were giving me either. Clear stuff. And I wouldn't even pick it up if it was on the floor. I wouldn't know what it is. So I found it was actually easier, and it's shameful to admit this, but it was easier just to accept it. So, okay, thanks a lot. And they'd be so happy. They go, yeah, I gave Habib some drugs. Off they go, right?
Yeah.
Now, to counter that, right, and I'm freaking out now because I've got some drugs in my tracksuit pocket. We just done the show. If there's police bust in.
Yeah.
And the other thing people would often ask me is like, hey, because, Habib, you got any drugs on you? Right? Common question after the show. As a matter of fact, I do. And I would give out whatever's in my pocket, I would just give it out to them, right? And they would be ecstatic. Oh my God, I got some drugs from Habib. So the point is, Bevo, I was a genuine drug dealer during that tour who was making $0, like the worst drug dealer on the planet, right? Getting drugs and giving them out for free. And people were stoked. So the person giving me the drugs was stoked because they go, oh my God. And the person just came up on, hey, Habib, you got any drugs in you? Yeah, take the shit, get off my hands.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to get in trouble.
Yeah. So it was a lot of fun. It was a good character. He was it was someone that people could relate to, just like, not that successful, not good with chicks, got a lot of business ideas, but always failed. And so, it was approachable. A lot of people would approach me, and I don't mind that. I'm always friendly to people. So yeah, people would come up and like they know you, so you just get used to it. But it was a good character to play.
And speaking of Rebel Wilson, we better talk about her because when you sort of started working with her, did you ever think that she was going to get to the stage that she has, a worldwide superstar? Yeah, well, look, to the stage she's got at, probably not, like, because who can, no one can predict that. Like, she's a genuine superstar, right? But she was always motivated, and she loved acting, and she was always on a journey. So it didn't surprise me. That was her passion. My passion is stand-up comedy, always will be. Her passion was acting. I fell into acting, accidentally through the stand-up comedy world. Paulie saw me, this, that, and all the approaches have been because people, I appeared on Thank God You're Here, that show, because someone saw me doing comedy, improvising. They said, when you come on this show, so all that sort of stuff's come through stand-up. But she was always into acting, writing. She was on a journey. She was motivated. And there's a bit of luck involved too. Like, there's a lot of Australian actors and actresses, they go to LA, try their luck, come back months later, you know what I mean? A lot of stories. So, so people think it's not that easy. So she had a bit of body of work before. It wasn't just Fat Pleasure, but she was writing for a sketch and she was doing some other stuff. And then she wrote, she did her own sitcom for SBS. There was another one about school and different stuff. So she had some runs on a board before she got the agency, and off she went and rolled the dice. And the luck part was she got a part in Bridesmaids, and then that movie became like worldwide huge hit. Great movie.
And she was fantastic in her role. Yeah. And that was it. So that's the luck part. And but she's still talented in her, in what she did.
Great.
She was talented enough to be fantastic in her role. And but people don't really, it's not easy. Like, she put herself on the line. I say good on her. Like, she deserves everything she's got. She's a great girl. We've caught up on the odd occasion or two when she comes back. She comes back to Sydney a lot, and she deserves everything because, she's worked hard. People don't realise she's worked bloody hard, Yeah,
it's a great story indeed, for sure.
I did the Celebrity, I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, and I loved it, absolutely loved it. And because, you get to meet the others and you show a bit of personality.
It's tough challenges on that show though as well.
But again, it's all a social experiment, see, like all the reality shows are. Like, we've been talking about it before, because they're all social experiments. I mean, the Celebrity one is, like, if I told you, Bevo, eat this bull's balls, you say, piss off. I'm not going to eat the bull's balls. But in that environment, we go somewhere in a jungle, sleep outside, which freaked me out because it really was outside, and I've never camped before. I'm going, wow, and all these people are just sleeping. I couldn't even sleep. I go, this is amazing. Like, look at all the cameras. Love the whole experience. Absolutely loved it, right? But, you're out there, cameras everywhere, right? Starving. They give you like 600 calories a day. That's it. For the first 3 days, I ate rice and beans. And it didn't bother me. The hunger doesn't bother me. So I realized, okay, it doesn't really bother me. I was fine with it, drinking a shitload of water. But say, if you're starving and then they put this team element, like, get some stars for your team. Do it for your team so they eat. And you're starving, and then you're there and there's cameras around everywhere, and you eat the bull's balls, right? You start eating the cow.
Yeah.
Normally you wouldn't do it. You go, no, I'm not going to eat that. But in that setting with the mindset and what they put you through, you just do it. You just eat it, right? Not that I had anything like that, but all those shows, like same the Bachelor, Bachelorette, hours of filming. Maths is a classic, late nights, alcohol. People think it's a real marriage. They go, yeah, it's real. Oh my God, she cheated on him. She cheated on him. I go, they just met on TV. Relax. They go, what do you think, Michelle? What do you think? You want to stay with him? Because like Michelle's, I don't know if there's Michelle's on it. I don't know
what you need to say.
I just made that up, right? But they go, yeah, he's a bastard. He's a dickhead. I don't like him. Like, this guy, I don't like my partner.
I don't want to stay on the show so I can get some more influence on my Instagram.
100% better. That's exactly what it says. What do you think? Yes or no? One more week. Yes. There's another week of filming. Of course she wants to stay on.
More dollars as well.
Yeah, exactly. I get my thing. But didn't you just call him a bastard and you hate him?
Oh, it's ridiculous. And
I'm staying.
Every year, a controversial dinner party. Yeah. Have you noticed that as well?
A controversial dinner party. Have you ever been to a controversial dinner party? No. I mean, anyway. But yeah, it's one of those shows where it's captured the imagination. It's a water cooler. That's what people watch. It's addictive. It's easy to watch. And it's enjoyable for people because whatever problems you got in your life, you just watch other people suffer and their little made up problems, right? So it becomes easy TV to digest.
And who'd you really bond with in the jungle as well, Tahir?
Plenty of people. Luke. There was Justine Schofield, the chef. Dermot Brereton was fantastic. He was great. Yeah, I just loved spending time with him. It was amazing. Then Shane Crawford came in, and
what a character!
Things went bananas. We're chasing each other. It was like school kids. That's what it became like. And I don't know what they were watching on camera, but we were just doing the stupidest things, and it was just a lot of fun. We're just making each other laugh, honestly, making each other laugh so much, and it was a very good experience. It was a very, very good experience, and yeah, and I met Dermot a few times before, so I knew him and knew some of the others, but Dermot especially. So yeah, going there and I remember seeing him at a golf charity, like at a golf corporate day, and I knew I was going in, and there was sort of word that he was going in as well. I said, Dermot, you going into the jungle? This is like a month out, like a couple of weeks out, literally. We went in January. I'm asking me like mid-December.
Yeah.
And I remember him saying, no, he couldn't look at me. He's going, no. I'm looking and go, he's going in for sure. And I reminded him when I was in there, But Dermot, he didn't go to the toilet for 6 days.
What?
In the jungle. Like he was losing a lot of weight because you lose like 10% of your body weight. Because it just falls off, right? You're drinking water, there's not many calories. And he snuck a protein bar in there, right? I snuck a whole bunch of stuff and I put it in the toilet because I knew that's the only place that had no cameras, right? So I had a banana wrapped in foil.
Clever.
I had like biscuits and things like all in there, right? And but they caught us out and I said, come on, leave everything, like bring it out, otherwise you're going to get punished. And Dermot stuck some protein bars in there and he really needed them, right? But he was sharing with us. So we'd go for a trail walk. And he'd say, Tahir, come here. Look at that thing over there and point, but he'd have a protein, like a little bar, and it's almost like he's closing my mouth, straight in. Like I said, shove it in my mouth. I'm laughing because I can't even chew the damn thing. I'm like, we're in a bush and here's Dermot like throwing some protein balls into my mouth, right?
Better than the balls at least.
Yeah, better than the balls. And then basically, he lost. And then, so his body was using everything. It didn't go for 6 days and goes to me like, Tahir, I haven't been for 6 days. And we're discussing bowel movements with an AFL legend, 5-time premiership, toughest man in the sport.
Yeah.
And we're discussing, man, I said, keep drinking water, man, because his body was using everything. And finally, on the 7th day, Bevo, it happened.
He went to the toilet finally.
He went to the toilet. He had a bowel movement. And he comes and tells me, right, Tahir, I did a shit. Right? So, and you know what happened after that? We hugged. I hugged Dermot Brereton. Two grown men hugging because he took a shit. I go, when would ever that happen in life? Like, I'm thinking about it. I go, when would I ever hug Dermot Brereton for taking a shit. Never would that sort of scenario ever come up in my, because I remember watching, I grew up on NRL, like, I mean, I loved AFL, but from Sydney, I grew up in the NRL.
You were on the NRL footy show doing comedy, weren't you?
Plenty of times, plenty of times.
Yeah.
And so I remember Dermot, like I remember all the hair and I didn't have much opinion. I just remembered like, there's a guy like confident, Larry, aggressive, like, and often in the challenges that put me up against him, often like, and you can see his competitive spirit come out. Like, there would be like a laughing challenge where you had to try to not make each other laugh. And he'd be really, I go, yeah, like you can tell he had that competitive spirit. I'd hate to be up against him in a game. Like I could see why he'd be daunting.
I would hate to play him too.
He would be daunting, tall, fearless,
Big
elbows,
unit.
scared, like scary, he'd be a nightmare. Like, I'd say, all right, Dermot, have the ball.
Yeah.
I'm going down the other end.
The 89 grand final, when he kept playing with those broken ribs.
Yes.
Like perfect example, and that just shows how tough he really
broken
is.
Broken ribs played on, like, I remember hearing the story and like he smashed through the other team's huddle. Remember that?
Yeah.
Like that was just some crazy stuff.
He was crazy. Yeah.
Tough years, but we had a lot of laughs. It was a great show. The Jungle's a great show, and I'd do it again in a heartbeat. That's how much fun it was. I mean, the worst thing was, being away from family and all that, but the whole experience, I just lapped it up. My theory is if I'm going to be gone, I was gone for like a month, about 5 or 6 days before it ended, and I go, if I'm going to be away, I might as well enjoy, lap it up,
Make the most of it.
Went on some jungle safaris. It was awesome. The whole thing was awesome.
And outside of, we've spoken about the Tahir, the stand-up comedy and everything else, and you're a funny man. I spoke the other day to George Capinaris about this, and there's that serious side to him at home, but I can't imagine the serious side to you. But is there like a Tahir, a different Tahir that's away from the Habib, and away from the stand-up comedy? Or
not really. I'm very relaxed.
Yeah.
Like, I don't take life too seriously. I'm very relaxed. I just put everything in perspective. Like, we'll be at home and, if something like could break, my wife will say, hey, if something just like, I said, it's just a good, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? No one got injured. No one's like sick. I look at it that way, you know what I mean? So during the lockdown, like when we were locked down, I loved it. I was at home getting paid money from the government. How good was that?
Yeah, so true.
Like, I appreciate if you've lost your job, and I get all that if you're making ends meet, like, but if you're not and you're just at home, I thought, okay, I did some writing. I wrote some children's books. I worked on a movie, worked on other ideas, We watched, we went for walks. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful time. So, yeah, the motto is enjoy that. Like, enjoy what you have. Don't be negative about it. You can't change it.
Yeah,
we're there. So, we must lap it up.
Absolutely. So, I love your attitude.
Yeah, when I was in the jungle, I thought, I'm lapping up the experience, the walks, the sights. The whole thing was incredible. Absolutely incredible.
It's wonderful. And getting back to, when you first started out with stand-up comedy, when did that first begin to hear? Like, was there someone on TV that you watched or someone that, that you got to know where you got that real passion for comedy? Where did it begin?
Not really. Like, I didn't really have any, I love Richard Pryor in the early days and Eddie Murphy, of course. I just was interested in comedy. I enjoyed making people laugh. I did it in primary school. I did it in high school. And it all started there. Then I was a school teacher, so high school teacher, drama, English teacher trained, right? So I did a couple of years of teaching, but I was always writing material, collecting comedy, interested in comedy. And then I found out there's an open mic night in Sydney at the Sydney Comedy Store. Now, for those who don't know, open mic night is where anybody can turn up and just do a couple of minutes on stage. And when I found that out, I thought that was the greatest thing ever. I said, you mean anyone can turn up? Anyone can turn up. I was there, like I was right there within a flash. But this is a story that, I've told before, is that it took me 6 weeks to get up. So I knew I was going to get up. Like I knew I was going to do it, but I was so nervous. So I'd turn up and go, no, I'm just going to watch this week. I'll get up next week. And I'd come next week and I go, no, not ready. Wow. Next week. And I'd come back, 6 weeks. Week 5, I remember I was going to get up, but I didn't because they'd moved to the front of the pub, not in the comedy room, because there wasn't enough people attending. So that it was in basically the pub section, was just some people at the bar. And I looked around and I said, nah, I'm not getting up this week. This can't be my debut. So I came to week 6 because I was pumped that week to get up. And week 6 was back in the normal room with some good numbers, and I finally did it. But 6 weeks to get the courage.
That's phenomenal.
To get up, you know.
And how did that very first show go? It was pretty nervous.
It went well. The first show went well. I had usual routine. Like I had my couple of mates, like most people bring a couple of friends with them, and they were there. They were pumped, you know. And I got up and they were laughing at anything, right? And that's fine. But the important thing was others were laughing. Like, you know, I could have got my mates laugh. Yeah, I get that. They were there to support, but everyone else was laughing too. Wow, that's a nice feeling. And I was away for 18 months. I went to basically every open mic night I could find. 3 times a week, I'd be there. Like, people don't realize like what you go through the apprenticeship you do. So nowadays, like some people might just blow up on social media and then they just do a show.
Go on maths.
Yeah, or go on maths. Go on maths. Now I'm a comedian. I'm a TV personality, whatever that means, right?
I'm an influencer.
Yeah, influencer. Yeah, that's the best one. Influencer, like, oh, look at this girl. She's had like 1 million followers and this week she's up to 1.375, you know?
What a wank.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Do you know what she has now? Yes, big tits. Like, that's you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be rude, but like, that's, like, people go, oh my God, look at my followers. Yeah, but all those bikini shots and things. They go,
look at TikTok. You go on there and all the girls
freaks following you, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, unbelievable. So,
but yeah, so it's you know, I did 18 months of just all open mic nights. I remember clearly, just every open mic I would turn up, every comedy night I'd turn up. Can I get on? No, okay, I'll watch. So I'd get up at a drop of a hat, you know, as much stage time as I can get.
Well, Tahir, once again, before we let you go, plug your 2 shows and also your MCing as well.
Well, yeah, I'm Adelaide Fringe. I love the Adelaide Fringe. It's one of the fringe I come to every year. I won't do all the festivals around the country, but this one I love. So I just want to say how much I love the Adelaide people and Adelaide Fringe. And I'll always do a children's show as well now, children's magic show, the world's best, worst magician on the weekend, and my show at night time during the week. And I do weddings. Like, I do a lot of corporate events, but I do weddings as well, which people are surprised about. You do weddings? I was, well, yeah, comedian, but just pay us, I turn up. Like, I've been booked for the most weirdest positions. Like, you know, I did a story where after the first lockdown, a family booked me to perform comedy in their living room. Right, I turned up. It was crazy, Bevo. Like, it just, and you know, I've been at backyard parties, no microphone, New Year's Eve parties.
Brilliant.
I've been, you know, one table full of executives. Like, I've been in like mining towns with like 40 degrees with flies buzzing around. I'm talking. I swallowed a fly. That's the biggest laugh I got. Like, you mean, the people are laughing, sweat's coming down. So, you know, when I come to a comedy club or a theatre, it's beautiful. I see other comedians get nervous. I go, what are you nervous for? That's the easiest room you can get. They're all there for comedy. It's beautiful, you know. So, yeah, nothing surprises or shocks me anymore.
And also hearing your story as well, when you first started out with only a few people watching your open mics, and now you're selling out venues. It's wonderful. I'm not selling out midweek. It's a struggle. But I don't mind, honestly. Whoever's there, I actually still appreciate people turning up. Like, it's still, like, after all these years, I'm not used to it still. Like, I'm used to it, but I appreciate it, you know. I go, wow. Like, okay, I could be, you know, we're touring with Crazy Rich Ethnics at the moment with George and yes, of course,
and James Liotta and George Carbonaris. But, you know, we'll get like 500 in a club. We go, oh my God, 500 people made the effort to turn up. It's great. Like, you still appreciate it, you know. I never take it for granted. Yeah. And it's good. People love it. We keep doing it. So good. And at Tahir, the comedian as well, is your social page? Tahir Comedian, that's it. Yep. Tahir, Comedian. Beautiful. And unusual name, I know, but it's my original name. And people always, they get it wrong. Or I don't even use my surname now, Bevo. That's it. When you get to my level, you drop the surname. Yeah, just go. Just joking. Yeah. Just one hard name is enough. So that's Tahir. I think I'm the only Turkish background comedian in this country, like stand-up. I've been trying to encourage a few others. There's a few others. There's Adil and there's a few others, but I'm trying to encourage the others, but they're just, the Turks, man, they're busy with work. Yeah, that's right. They're busy running businesses, kebab shops, Thai shops. They're busy on compo. They're busy doing stuff. And before I let you go, a big thank you as well to Andrew Laing from A-List for organising today's interview. And Tahir, thanks so much again for coming on Comedy Legends with Bevo. It's been an absolute pleasure. We could talk all day. Get on down to Adelaide Fringe and see your shows until the 20th of March. Thank you, Bevo. You're a good man, mate. You're a good interviewer. All right, we'll finish with a serious question. Did you ever shag Rebel Wilson? That's it. I'm done. I'm done.
Oh, come on, seriously, it was.